Okay, third grade, we are continuing learning about early Denver, so then and now. And so I'm going to show you some pictures and talk about some things, and then we're going to make a Venn diagram, which you are going to use another website for a little bit later. So I'm just going to read a little bit. It says Denver now and then. What do you think someone who lived in Denver in the early 1900s would think if they came to Denver today? There have been many changes. They might be amazed to see how many new and different things. Even though there may have been many changes, they would discover that some things are still the same. It is fun to look at pictures taken today and compare them to pictures taken from the same spot in the early 1900s. Look at the pictures of the Capitol building below. The building looks the same, but there are some changes. Can you see a difference? The streetlights and traffic signals would puzzle a visitor from the past. The modern car would also be a surprise. The pictures on the next page show the Capitol building looking south from the Presbyterian Church. The large buildings of today are almost block the view of the Capitol. Only a few of the trees are still there. So here you go. So here's the Capitol back then. Here's the Capitol now. Didn't change at all other than the area around it. The pictures at the bottom of this page show another view of the Capitol building. In the picture taken in 1909, you see a dirt street with trees along the cement sidewalk. The picture taken in 2001 shows a busy street with tall buildings between the El Jebel Temple and Central Presbyterian Church. The trees are all gone to make room for the new buildings. So you can see, obviously, you can see the similarities, but you also are missing a lot of those trees. Those big buildings are coming in. All right, so think about some of those things. So I'm also going to talk a little bit about transportation. So transportation in early Denver, most people rode horses or walked. Freight trains and freight wagons rolled through the streets. This picture was taken in 1868, so you can see it's mostly people with some wagons. Horse-drawn wagons, stagecoaches, carriages, and even horse-drawn buses or cabs were often seen along the streets of early Denver. When the Union Pacific Railroad went through Cheyenne, Wyoming, the people of Denver laid tracks from Denver to Cheyenne. The railroad made a big difference to Denver. Without the railroad, Denver would not have become the big city it is today. And here we go. A horse-drawn Sherilyn was pulled along tracks by a horse. The horse pulled it uphill, then got on board and rode it back down. That's pretty funny. Here we have some bicycles. Here we have a motorcycle in 1920, so eventually. In the early 1900s, they finally had the first automobiles look a little different than they do now. And then when they had a snowstorm, they didn't have plows yet, so that made it hard for people to get around in their vehicles. Shortly after the auto came the electric trolleys or the streetcars. People found that they could live outside the city. They rode the trolleys to work. Some people also rode them to church or to the park. So you can see the trolley there. And then it says now Denver Union Airport was near what is 52nd and Cherry. It was one of the 6 small airfields in early Denver. This picture was taken in 1929. Definitely not DIA that we know right now, huh? All right, so you could see there was definitely some differences between then and now. And in a moment, you are going to make a Venn diagram and look at some pictures on the internet on a link that we have linked to your assignment today. So you're going to get a piece of paper. Doesn't matter if there's something on the back, just a piece of paper. And then you're going to make 2 circles. Here's one. And remember, they need to overlap when we make a Venn diagram. So there's my other one. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to say then. I'm going to say now. And I'm going to say Denver. Okay, and so this, in this circle are things they had done. This circles are things they have now, and then this middle section is things that Denver still have. So I'm going to show you pictures from the book, but you don't have the book, so you're going to go to a Google Images site, and you're going to look at those images and kind of compare them. But I'm going to show you the first one, like the Capitol here. So the Capitol building was this is the picture in 1909. This is then in 2001. And so we were looking, the building itself is the same. Now, please don't put black and white and color, because just because the photograph is taken, that doesn't mean that back then these things were not colored. So we're not going to include that in our kind of idea. But what we could say more, this one definitely has more grass area. So I could write in here, more grassy areas All right. Let's see. Let's look at this next picture. Oh, this one's a good one. There's a statue of a cavalry soldier was dedicated in 1909. So there it is. And then here, it's kind of hard for you to see in this picture, but it's right there. And so if you think about what's going on, what you see that's different. Okay, so there's definitely more buildings. Put that in there. I see there's street lights in both, so I could put that in here because there were street lights. There's in different places, but they both have street lights. All right, and then I could look at this one. So this is looking at the Capitol building, looking from the Capitol building looking north, and then you can see that the church is still there, but not much else looks the same. So the roads are paved now. Paved roads, and then this one definitely had dirt roads. I do see some electricity on both electric lines. All right, and you're just going to continue on. Fill up the then, fill up the now, and put as many in here as you possibly can. So then you're going to take a picture of this and upload it to me. And so I can see that you have found some differences between then and now. It's a really cool link that we've got attached there. So make sure that even if you fill all these up, you can spend a little time looking through the differences between then and now.